The beginning of senior spring, the school used to take juniors out on like a retreat. On the last morning, there was a polar bear plunge. And we all dove in, and then just as soon as I went under the water, I opened my eyes and just a big slabbed rock. And I hit it right with my forehead. I could feel my neck pop, and I knew, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't swim up.
Mary's phone rang. I heard it. Mary sounded panicky. At some point, I had the phone, and I introduced myself to the nurse, and she just said, "Your son has had a critical accident." And she said, "Sir, can I give you some advice? I would go to Tufts."
Scans showed that he had a severe spinal cord injury, and they called us at Tufts. We made the immediate decision and told them that time was of the essence here and that he needs to be med-flighted in. So at Tufts, we have a motto, thoughtful anticipation. We activated our trauma response system so that the second he got to Tufts, we would be ready for him. The ER team, we had our trauma team there, we had our radiologist there. They were all ready to review the films with me. The OR was great, so there was an empty room with equipment ready to go for him, and anesthesia was ready to take care of him as well. Our whole team evaluated him. We were very worried about Patrick when I first met him. We asked Patrick, to move his hands, and he was unable to. And then we asked him to move his legs, and he really had no strength at all. But the motor exam isn't the only thing that we test. I moved his left toe up and down. He was able to sense it. That was really the first good news that we had for Patrick. So having seen that, I knew we had to get Patrick to the operating room right away.
And Riesenberger, was being very factual about Patrick's accident and the consequences and his life ahead of him. And he said, "I'm going to operate him on it now. I'm going to operate at 11. He said, "If we can do the front and stabilize him, we're going to flip him and do the back." Just this process in front of us that was just so unbelievable and complicated. And so he sat there, and I'll remember it forever. He looked, when we were leaving, he was leaving the room to go operate it, and he said, "I'm going to operate on him like he's my own son."
And he did.
And he did.
No doubt about it.
I finished my master's program, and I was working at his mom's restaurant. I had been getting these headaches and jaw pain, and they had been going on for weeks, but I just figured I was grinding my teeth in my sleep or I wasn't drinking enough water. And so I was just like, oh wow, I need to really start taking care of myself. I was home chatting with my sister at night after work, and I went to turn the light switch off, and instead of saying that I'm going to bed, I said nonsensical words. I woke up in the middle of the night and I fell. The right side of my body was essentially paralyzed. Turns out that my carotid artery had torn, and that formed a blood clot that went to my brain.
I hopped in the car. She was sitting in a bed, and she was with her mom and her sister. And she didn't seem to have any presence. She just seemed, I was talking to her, and
being there
there's
at
just
all.
nothing.
So they called us here at Tufts. They spoke with our on-call stroke neurologist, and we mobilized the team and brought her to the procedure suite where Dr. Malik treated her. He had to be very tenacious in terms of his approach.
Time is brain. Every single second of poor perfusion can result in death of millions of neurons. In the case of Stacy, we really had a special case, if you will. It wasn't just simply going up to the vessel in the brain and pulling the clot out, but before we could do that, we had to fix the tear, the dissection in the carotid and in the neck. And that's an area of expertise that we've developed here at Tufts Medical Center.
He had to really strategize at each step to try and figure out how could he get the multiple blockages open, which he did. And she ended up with a much smaller stroke than she would have otherwise. She was able to walk out of the hospital, which a lot of people with this type of stroke unfortunately are not able to do.
Dr. Riesenberger came in to do an exam. Patrick's left side was responding somewhat. His right side had not been responding at all. We're watching him do what he's doing, and we're looking for any sign, and all of a sudden he smiled, and he goes, "We're moving Patrick." And we're like, "We're moving Patrick?" He goes, "I felt something."
Here at Tufts, the interdisciplinary approach that we have is phenomenal. Case management, making sure that he can get to the correct rehab facility to give him just the best chance that he has.
Intensive occupational therapy, physical therapy.
That 9th floor at Spalding and going down the hallway and seeing everybody recovering from something tragic and a lot of very seriously ill people. Bounding in the door comes this gentleman, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. He called for JP and I. He says, I want you to come down and see this. So we went down here. Poof, the slides are up. He says, you see that? He says, that's masterful work. What this gentleman has done for your son is I've never seen anything so well done in my life. And he said, and I've seen a lot. And he said, this boy's going to recover. This boy's going to recover.
As someone who's quadriplegic, standing is the ultimate goal. And I remember one Monday, I think I could stand, I think I have the energy in me. I remember thinking if I got enough momentum, I'd be fine. So they sit at the end of the bed, and I just pushed myself up on a walker, just like a standard walker, and I held it, and it hurt everything. Like, it was the first time my body had been perpendicular to the ground. I remember sitting back down knowing that like I was gonna keep doing that for the rest of my life.
Dr. Lung is the director of the SIA program, Strokes in Young Adults. So he is my sounding board. Like, I chat with him about what's going on at work, and any symptoms that I have, I email him. I have his number, I can text him. And having that relationship has been really key, because after this happened, I was really struggling with depression and anxiety. I was so anxious that something else was gonna happen.
To helping Stacy anticipate what might happen and trying to predict and be aware of things that could occur is actually one of the philosophies of the Stroke in Young Adults program here at Tufts Medical Center.
So now I'm a librarian. I teach library instruction classes. I help students and faculty with research. Just being able to work with these kids and to be able to organize my thoughts in a classroom where I'm in front of people is something that I never thought I was gonna be able to do. Even just speaking coherently and not stuttering or forgetting words is a huge step.
Since recovering from paralysis, I've worked in advertisement as an assistant producer. Now I'm studying to become a copywriter. With hospitals and with doctors and healthcare, there's a big difference between caring for you and caring about you. And I think Tufts Medical Center and Dr. Riesenberger specifically cared about me as a person, took stock in not just me, but my family, listened to my concerns.
We all knew that this was all part of Patrick getting better. It wasn't just surgery. It was our family. It was all of us there. That he was so committed to our son, and that the passion that was behind all that was something I never thought of in a scenario like that would be important. It all started with him.
That is something that I think just illustrates the type of care and the humanity of the doctors and the caregivers at Tufts Medical.